Today's story is wild, controversial, and confusing for millions of people who've been watching YNW Melly's legal battle for years. Earlier this week, prosecutors in South Florida dropped 4 serious charges against YNW Melly just as his witness tampering trial was about to start. That's right. The state abruptly said they no longer plan to pursue charges like witness tampering, directing gang activity, criminal solicitation to commit murder, and conspiracy related to tampering with a witness. Instead, all of those charges were dismissed, leaving Melly to focus solely on his ongoing double murder retrial, now scheduled for January of 2027. This is a major legal shift in one of the rap world's most closely watched criminal cases, and it has fans, critics, and the streets talking. Today, I'm going to break down exactly what happened, why prosecutors dropped the charges, what that means for YNW Melly's future, and how this twist in the case might change everything the public thought they knew about this saga. So sit tight as we unpack it piece by piece. Before we dive into the latest news, you need the full context so this makes sense. Jamel Demons, better known as YNW Melly, first rose to fame with hits like Murder on My Mind, a song that blew up nationally and put him on the map. But soon after his music success, Melly's life took a dramatic turn. In February of 2019, Melly was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the October 2018 death of 2 of his friends, Christopher YNW Juvie Thomas Jr. and Anthony YNW Sackchaser Williams. Prosecutors have alleged that Melly and another rapper, Cortland YNW Bortland Henry, staged the shooting to make it look like a drive-by. Melly has pleaded not guilty to the murder charges, and his case has dragged on for years, drawing national attention because the victims were his friends and because of Melly's fame. His original murder trial in 2023 ended in a mistrial after jurors couldn't all agree, and that set the stage for a retrial. But in addition to the murder case, prosecutors also added what's known as witness-tampering charges, claiming Melly tried to interfere with key testimony in his case. Now, the parts of that legal fight involving witness tampering have just been dropped by prosecutors, and that's huge because it dramatically narrows the legal battle Melly is facing now. The witness tampering charges were serious and added another layer of legal danger for Melly. Prosecutors allege that in advance of his retrial, Melly communicated, either directly or through others, in a way that was meant to discourage a crucial witness from testifying in the double murder case. They claim these communications were designed to influence the witness's decision and keep them off the stand. Prosecutors also tied in other alleged criminal activity, like directing gang activity and soliciting someone to commit murder. These types of charges are often paired with big murder cases because prosecutors want to ensure witnesses show up and testify without fear or pressure. If true, those actions could carry heavy penalties on top of the murder charges. But this week, in a sudden development, prosecutors dropped all of those witness tampering and related charges just as jury selection for that trial was about to begin. Here's the official update from prosecutors. On the day before jury selection was set to begin for the tampering trial, the state attorney's office dismissed all 4 charges against Melly related to witness tampering and associated offenses. That means the legal fight over whether Melly allegedly tried to keep a witness from testifying will not be going forward as a separate case. Those charges included witness tampering, directing the activities of a criminal gang, criminal solicitation to commit murder, and conspiracy to tamper with a witness on a capital felony. The sudden dismissal surprised many watching the case because the trial was scheduled to start right away, and both sides had already been preparing for it as if it was going to happen. Prosecutors have not publicly explained in detail why they chose to drop these charges, but court filings and statements from Melly's attorneys indicate that his legal team argued there was insufficient evidence to support those accusations, and that continuing with those charges would be unfair. Melly's lawyers celebrated the dismissal as a major legal victory. They claimed that once new defense attorneys reviewed the case, it became clear that the state could not prove the tampering and related charges beyond a reasonable doubt. According to the defense, the state's decision to drop the charges shows that there were serious problems with the evidence and allegations the prosecutors had planned to use. Melly's attorneys have argued that he was being held under extraordinarily restrictive conditions, based in part on these additional charges that have now been removed. They now plan to focus on trying to get Melly released from custody while he waits for the retrial on the murder charges, which is set to begin in early 2027. Even though the witness tampering and related charges were dropped, that does not mean Melly's murder case is over. Far from it. The double murder retrial for the deaths of Christopher Thomas Jr. and Anthony Williams is still scheduled, and Melly still faces serious first-degree murder charges. These charges carry the possibility of life in prison or even the death penalty if he is convicted. Dropping the tampering charges means one less legal issue for Melly to fight, but the central murder case, which has already dragged on for years, is still alive and moving toward trial in 2027. That's a long wait, and it means the legal drama is far from finished. To understand just how messy this has become, let's quickly walk through the key moments in Melly's legal saga. 2018. The double murder occurred in October, leading to the deaths of 2 men who were associates of Melly. 2019, Melly and YNW Bortland were arrested and charged with first-degree murder. They pleaded not guilty. 2023, Melly's first trial on the murder charges ended in a mistrial because the jury could not agree on a verdict. After 2023, prosecutors added witness-tampering charges tied to alleged efforts to keep a key witness from testifying. January 2026. Just as the witness-tampering trial was about to begin, prosecutors dropped all tampering and related charges, narrowing the case to focus again squarely on the murder allegations. This timeline shows how complicated and long-running this case has been. People who are following it have seen twists, turns, legal filings, courtroom drama, motions, and now this sudden dismissal of major charges. As soon as this news broke that the tampering charges were dropped, people online lost it. Some fans are celebrating, saying this is the beginning of Melly getting a fair shot at justice, or that it shows the prosecution's case is weak. Others are confused and frustrated because they feel like the system keeps flipping with no real answers. There are also critics who say dropping the tampering charges doesn't matter at all until the murder trial plays out. Everyone seems to have a different take, and that's exactly what happens when a celebrity's legal troubles play out in public. This isn't just a local Florida story. People all over the world know Melly's name and are invested in what happens next. The reactions are intense because this case touches on themes of fame, street justice, legal strategy, and whether the system works the same for famous people and for regular people. Now that the tampering charges are gone, the focus is back on the murder retrial. The double murder case is set for January 2027, and that trial is expected to be long and complicated. It will involve evidence from the original investigation, witness testimony, forensic analysis, and arguments from both sides. Melly's defense team will try to poke holes in the prosecution's case and cast doubt on whether he really committed the murders he's accused of. Prosecutors will try to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he did. Usually in these high-profile cases, there will be pretrial hearings, motions to exclude certain evidence, battles over what can and can't be shown to jurors, and a whole lot of legal maneuvering before the trial even starts. Because this case has dragged on for years already, people are already making predictions, but nothing is guaranteed. Legal experts watching this case have already weighed in on what dropping the tampering charges might signal. Some believe the state may want to focus its resources entirely on getting a conviction in the murder case, and dropping the tampering charges might be a way to simplify their strategy. Others think the state might be worried that pursuing too many charges could confuse a jury or hamper their ability to prove the central allegations. From a defense perspective, removing those extra charges gives Melly's team one less front to fight on, and it might allow them to concentrate fully on dismantling the murder case. But keep in mind, high-profile criminal defense is always a chess match, not checkers. Every move has consequences, and dropping these charges might be part of a bigger strategy by both sides to position themselves for the long battle ahead. So to recap, prosecutors abruptly dropped 4 serious charges against YNW Melly: witness tampering, directing gang activities, solicitation to commit murder, and conspiracy to tamper with a witness, just as a new trial on those charges was about to start. That's a major development and a legal win for Melly's defense team. But it doesn't free him from his biggest legal battle yet, the retrial for the 2018 double murder of his friends. That case is still alive and scheduled to start in early 2027, and it will likely be one of the biggest legal dramas in hip-hop history. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think dropping these tampering charges weakens the state's case overall, or was it just a smart prosecutorial move? Let me know in the comments. And if anything new comes out in this case, you already know we'll cover it fast. Stay tuned.